D Brigade is back again with brand new support from the EX3 Dragonic Roar set, and it is amazing. Just before we get started with the video, I got something really cool to share with all you guys. If you haven't watched our newest Battle of series, then be sure to check that out as well. In our latest Battle of Cross Encounter episode, we spiced things up, where Sam and I actually partnered with each other for a tag team battle against our friends this time. This gave us a chance to showcase you guys a larger variety of decks in action, so be sure to check it out after this video too. Links will be included on the top right iCard and in the description box down below, so I'll see you guys there. Hello Digimon players and fans, welcome back to another Digimon Deck Profile and in-depth building guide video. Commandramon and the D Brigade line has always been one of the most consistent decks and strategies throughout various formats. It has a simple win condition of playing as many low-cost rookies as you can and swing into your opponent's security and repeat to win games. However, it is more than that now, because with the introduction of EX3, we got a whole new Digivolution line of Commandramon, Sealstream, Darkdramon, and Darkdramon, which greatly supports the deck and provides a new avenue as an alternative method to play the deck and win differently as well. It actually brings back the traditional stack building approach, and it lets you swarm the board even faster, and even swing in with more rush effects ever than before. I'm excited to show you guys the new combos and what you can do with this deck, and I'll be also teaching you guys who have never played the deck before how to pilot it as well. So definitely stick around as we'll jump right into the deck profile first. Okay, let's begin with the Digi Egg cards. We got 4 copies of Pagumon from BT6 and 1 copy of Mesamon from BT4. Pagumon still being the best Digi Egg card for this deck generally, because you try to digivolve in your rookies and you try to swing in a lot, and then you try to get their on deletion effects, and on deletion you can reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a black Digimon you get to add it to your hand, and sort of giving it a very nice decent draw power for your need. And then for Mesamon, just gives you extra 1000 DP for D Brigade, which comes in handy every now and then. However, you definitely want to maximize at 5 eggs, simply because you digivolve and push out your rookies so often with this strategy, and this is why you need the extra egg to help compensate for your deck overall. Okay, let's talk about our rookies then. Featuring our brand new Commandramon right here. We play 3 copies of this one here. So he is a decoy dedicated for the D Brigade archetype. So it basically helps you protect from any effect deletions by having this guy deleted instead. I feel like that this effect is just okay currently. It's not like the greatest. It's decent. It comes up. It's nice for defensive capabilities, and we're really just fulfilling more Commandramons as we can for its name, and we just try to add as much as we can. So 3 copies is really all I need. Some of you guys might run 1-4. Totally go with that if you feel like it as well, but 3 worked out for me. Now hold on a second, I got a quick question for you. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? Because if you haven't, and if you love Digimon deck profiles and guys like these, then be sure to do so right now. Also, make sure you turn on that notification bell, because it will notify you every time a new Digimon video is out, and you definitely want to stay tuned for more amazing EX3 deck profiles. We got lots more to come to cover for this format, so definitely stay tuned. And like always, I would really appreciate it if you can give this video a like, because it just really helps support the video and the channel as well. But let's get back into our deck profile. Then we got 4 copies of the good old BT4 one. This one's still being the best one, simply because when you have on deletion, synergizes greatly with Pagumon, and then you get to also play a Commandramon back from the top of your deck by revealing the top 3 cards. Yeah, this one you have to play 4 of no matter what. Moving on, mostly they're all going to be 4 ofs, because we still have the blocker one. Blocker is still great. Defensive capabilities, if you need to stop an attack, just always very nice to have. And then we got the vanilla 4-drop 5k. This one's a strong beater one, and it's just also really good because how strong it is, and it can survive security checks with it from time to time, especially against any other rookie out there. So yeah. And then of course you have the 4 copies of the other vanilla one, the 2-drop cost one, which is really good. Again, great for manipulating memory gauge, great for going wide when you need to, and it's also just very memory efficient too. That's it for Commandramon. There's really not too much to talk about, because maximizing it is just super crucial. But now let's talk about the brand new level 4 brand new Sealstream here that we got, and it's actually very nice for this deck. First and foremost, he actually has jamming, so you Digivolve on 2 on top of a level 3, and then also it gives an inheritable of your turn once per turn when you do play another Digimon with D Brigade in its traits, whether by hard playing or by an effect or whatnot. It gains Rush, which then is very good for building your stack combo, which we'll talk about more later on as we go into it. But this guy's great. Jamming is just really, really nice, and you can swing in early, and yeah. Then we got the 2 Grumble to round off right here. Grumble is still just really good. Hybrid for games, sneak in for attacks, helps you win games, helps you give you that extra surprise attack. Again, it's just always very, very nice. And then that's it for the level 4s. Let's talk about our level 5s, where we only have Tankdramon, and we played 4 copies of this brand new Tankdramon right here. This new Tankdramon is actually really, really good. Really good level 5 missing key piece for the deck, because when you do Digivolve, you get to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you get to play one D Brigade with 5 costs or less for free, and then you trash the rest. Really great for, you know, swarming the board quickly with it, and also trashing to set up your trash for more D Brigades potentially as well for your later combos when you're going to your top end stuff. Also has an inheritable. Your turn once per turn, when one of your Digimon with D Brigades and its traits attacks, you get to reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, and you play 1 Commandramon for free among them, which is also really good. And you guys can probably foresee it synergizes very greatly when you're building your stack along together with the inheritables of Sealstream again, and I'll talk about it more later in the combo segment. But yeah, 4 copies of Tankdramon is fantastic. Okay, so now let's talk about the brand new Darkdramon moving into our level 6s. We've only got 2 copies of this guy. D Brigade is a strategy that you just really want to focus on rushing and attacking and swinging for as low memory as possible. So building the stacks is not as its core focus, and that's not my approach of this deck overall. And I feel like this rookie rush strategy is still slightly the better way or more optimal way to play the deck. However, this brand new Darkdramon really focuses on digivolving. It does cost 5 to Digivolve on top of a level 5. However, when you would Digivolve this card, you may return up to 5 D Brigades and its traits from your trash and put them to the top of your deck to reduce the 1 memory for each. So essentially, this guy can become free, and which is really, really good again, because I'm really excited to show you guys what the combos and the cool things I can do with this card. And also, your turn once per turn, when you play another Digimon with D Brigade and its traits, you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with play cost less than or equal to the Digimon that you played. And then you get to unsuspend this Digimon as well. And so you can make multiple checks. You can become very memory efficient with this card as well, and recycle pieces is actually very, very nice. But a 2 of is really all you need, because your core focus isn't on this Darkdramon, because the OG one is still the best one to have, because it has a simple on rush ability, and you can just hard slam it, help you cycle again, gaining the memory back when you hard play this guy. So you can basically effectively hard play it for 3, and then you can just swing in for games when you need to do so. And yeah, we all know how good this one really is, and we, again, core focus and strategy is to focus on this one, so we have 3 copies of. That's it for level 6s. Let's talk about level 7s. We got the 2 copies of DEFX right here. I know a lot of you guys are gonna immediately feel like, oh, okay, this is just gonna make this deck super expensive, and it's just gonna be like, okay, this ruined it for you. Guys, I want you to understand, DEFX is a super strong card in this current format, in this current meta, and we have to understand how strong it really is, and it provides a lot of value, especially being in this deck. It can deal with wide boards, it can remove stuff, it can delete things, and it's just that good of a card, and you can hard play it for very, very memory efficient cost, because it can be reduced with its hard play costs as well. And some of you guys might even argue that you should be playing 3 in this particular deck, and I do think so as well, and I kind of agree, but 2 is also just a really good amount. Now, for some of you guys who are on a budget, I do have some budget recommendations after the deck profile to sort of showcase you guys and discuss what we can talk about and what cards we can add in instead of playing DEFXmon. However, you know, DEFX is just, again, really, really good card, really strong. You can even Digivolve it on top of your Darkdramon when you need to, and yeah. Okay, so that is it for all of our Digimon. Let's talk about our Tamers. We got 3 copies of Kazu. Kazu just synergizes with this deck so well, because everything you play has like Cyborg, and basically you can gain memory at the start of your main phase. You get to draw and trash one when you do attack and stuff like that, or become suspended, and help you cycle through more pieces. And yeah, 3 copies is great. Then, of course, we have 2 copies of Izzy. Izzy is your memory tamer of the deck, very, very effectively. All of the cards in this deck are black, so you get to effectively play him for 3. And being a memory tamer at 3 is just fantastic. And also security, it's kind of like a pseudo hammer spark. Sometimes you can actually help you turn the tables by gaining that extra memory by, stopping your opponent's plays, or even passing the turn over afterwards is actually very, very nice. So you definitely want to have at least 2 of him too. Next, this one's more of a personal preference and choice. We got 2 Izzy and Joes. Now, I've been really, really loving these guys because, again, for the wide format that we're playing in, there's a lot of decks that go wide, and once they go wide, you gain 2 memory at the start of your turn with no conditions. It makes it very difficult for your opponent to play. A lot of decks and combos do go wide naturally, and they can't forego of those opportunities, but then by doing so, they give you more memories to start off. And it also has a secondary effect of during your opponent's turn, when one of your black Digimon is deleted, you can suspend to draw a card. This deck does lack a little bit on draw power, so you need to cycle a little bit, and these guys do give you that, which is very, very good. However, on the other flip side, you guys might argue that this card is just absolutely bad against any one-stack decks or one-shot decks, and I totally agree. And then this card becomes way less effective against those matchups, and I totally agree as well. However, for the sake of wide matchups, I really just personally like this card, and it has worked out very well for me. So if you guys don't like it, swap it out for other cards. But otherwise, yeah, I really like it in this deck. That's it for all of our tamers. Let's go into options. 3 copies of Pride Memory Boost, dedicated for this deck, which is really great. You get to basically play any of your Commandramons out of it by playing the 4 cost, and you get the delay with 2 memory back, setting up yourself, and also trashes, so it adds D Brigades to your trash and helps you turbo into it very quickly, which is always very nice. For more options, we have removal options. We got the 2 copies of Ultimate Flare, as well as the 2 copies of Iron Fisted Onslaught. 2 and 2, just to give it a bit of variety of types of removal, which is very good. Ultimate Flare, great for, de-digivolving. There's very little protection against it overall, and can also get rid of wide boards. Iron Fisted Onslaught, just great for dealing with big boss Digimon stuff as well. So that's it for all the cards in this deck. Okay, now that we got the deck profile completed, let's talk about some other cards and sort of like budget alternatives that you can be adding in instead of playing DEFX Mon. The first recommendation is actually to just ramp up the number of your Ultimate Flares and your Iron Fisted Onslaughts for defensive and removal capabilities, because DEFX Mon is a removal type card at the end of the day. So to fulfill that role, adding more of those options, removal options, are just going to be very beneficial for you as well. Otherwise, you can, up your rookie counts. Hagurumon is great because of supporting the draw power that you need for this deck. On play, you trash 1 Digimon with Cyborg or Machine, and then you draw 2 cards. Once again, you trash your Cyborgs to draw 2. And then, of course, we have the Floodgate type of cards. We got the Chumon and the Chikurimon, which is great. Chikurimon will kind of counter yourself a little bit, especially if you're playing DEFX. But if you don't play DEFX, Chikurimon is not too bad. We also have Chumon to stop memory gain from our opponent's side, which is always really good. So these are also really nice rookies that you can also incorporate. And then we also have the other Chikurimon, the Security Bomb, for defensive as well, to de-digivolve on your opponent's Digimon when you do come out of security, which is also very nice when it does come up. And last but not least, for more defensive, you can play Congo as an option. Congo is also still a really good card to stop your opponents from swinging in or ending the game, or trying to, go for their big turn plays, and, help yourself buy some time as well. Alright, now that we talked about all the cards, let's show you guys the combo segment and how to play for this deck. It's very simple to understand how D Brigade works. You always just want to be, of course, hatching your egg, digivolving whichever D Brigade you have. Ideally, it'll be this one, and either this one as well. And with this deck, going first is actually a lot of value for you, because you just want to, make the first swing as soon as you can, and it's all about being aggressive and whatnot. So you just play your D Brigades early again in the stage of the game. Play your Pride Memory Boost to give yourself later value. Play your Kazu as well. You want to set these guys up. And even your memory tamer if you ever have it. And all you're doing is, just trying to manipulate the memory gauge. Very similar to Rookie Rush style. You're just trying to choke your opponent down to 1 memory, or give them as little memory as possible by playing these guys, or even like the blocker one or whatnot. Whatever you need to do to basically limit their plays, so you can just go straight in and not have to worry about twice and just start swinging in. Especially with this on deletion Commandramon, because this on deletion will help you cycle through and bring out more Commandramons from the top of your deck, and just basically roll that way. And also just swing in with any Commandramons as you can as soon as possible. And yeah, you just want to pressure your opponent. So once you fulfilled 5 pieces of Commandramons or D Brigades in general, that's really your goal of trying to get into your top end. So the good old classic combo is always we're going into a reliable rush Darkdramon. So, you know, having our memory to start at 3 somehow, whether if you have a memory boost or Kazu that helps you gain that memory, you want to make sure that you can play your Darkdramon. Now, once again, very important, keep in mind that if your opponent does not have any memory blockers on the board before you play this, because if you play this, you're going to have to hard play for 13 and he will gain that memory back. But with memory blockers on the board, you're not allowed to gain that memory back, and you're just going to pass your opponent to 10 just by hard playing a Darkdramon for no reason, and it won't give you any value afterwards. So make sure before you do that, make sure you got 5 D Brigades. And this is the most important part of the game, where you're going to have to start to plan ahead and cycle through and see and decide how you want to rearrange them to the top of your deck so you can plan for your next turns. And you will know what you have for next turn. So you have more searching going on. You know, more cards that sort of like review top cards. You want to be able to utilize this fact to help you organize and plan ahead. So this is the most important part, again, of the stages of the game. But anyways, you pay your 3 memory to go into Darkdramon, and then there's nothing to think about. You just swing immediately with it, with Rush to deal damage, or even to swing over stuff when you need to. And that's really it with the simple OG Darkdramon combo. But now we got the brand new Darkdramon line combo, which actually focuses on building a stack. And it's very, very simple. So you just hatch your egg again. Of course, you digivolve whatever Commandramon you have or whatever rookie you can. And then you just digivolve into a Sealstream right here. And then once again, the combos do vary a little bit depending on what you have set up on your board when it comes to the Tamers and the options and the memory boost that you have. But ideally, you have your Sealstream sitting and ready to go. And then your opponent passes you to 3, you can move your Sealstream up, and then you swing in with Sealstream with jamming. Now, if it doesn't get deleted by any security effects, then that's fantastic, because then what's next? You can pay the 3 memory to digivolve it into Tankdramon. Now, Tankdramon's effect when digivolving will let you cycle through the top 3 cards of your deck. And let's just say you get to play 1 Commandramon here, and then you play this Commandramon and you trash the rest. Now, very important, and next part, when you go into Darkdramon, once again, very similar to the old Darkdramon, you want to make sure you got 5 D Brigades in your trash, because it does exactly the same thing. If you have this brand new Darkdramon right here, you would put 5. Again, very important stage of the game is you got to decide and see how you want to cycle it through, so then you can then digivolve into your Darkdramon. Now, Darkdramon is suspended. So now the next part, once you brought out Darkdramon, you want to be able to sort of have a little bit more memory so you can actually play a Commandramon with an effect to help you unsuspend it. So since we have a memory boost, we can pop the memory boost to go to 2, and then we want to pay 2 to play this Commandramon, and this Commandramon can pop something that's like 2 cost or less that your opponent has, and then you get to unsuspend it, which is really good. Now keep in mind, because you also have Sealstream as the inheritable from your prior effects when you go into your Tankdramon and Darkdramon, all these Commandramons right here gain Rush, so you can swing with them as well. Now you can also even just swing with your Darkdramon here, using Tankdramon's effect to help you review the top 2 cards of your deck to play more Commandramons. Play this one again and then trash more here. And then you can swing in, and then all these guys can also continue to swing, having a full-blown out aggressive turn that you can be playing right here, and just swing lots and take down your opponent's security and win from there, which gives you that really cool aggro. And having this Darkdramon as a top end that synergizes so well with all these Commandramons is just super, super nice. Sometimes there's actually also a really cool play where you can have both Darkdramons, the old one and the new one, to synergize together at the same time. So you might have Tankdramon in your raising instead, so you start your memory at 3 again, so you move it up, and then you would digivolve into this Darkdramon, and making sure that you have 5 D Brigades once again that you can put back on the top of your deck. I'm not going to show you guys how I'm going to rearrange it, but let's just say you put 5 back, and he's basically digivolving it for free here. So once you got the new Darkdramon ready here, you can actually just swing in to your opponent's Digimon or security or whatnot, and then even use Tankdramon's effect to review and go through cycle more Commandramons. Now, if you don't have any, that's actually not too bad because this gives you a follow-up. If you do have one, let's just say, and then you end up playing the Commandramon, you can rush with it and then continue cycling through your top deck, which is very nice. But in some cases, it might be nice that you actually don't reveal one and you end up trashing these guys, for example, because you can then use your secondary Darkdramon instead, so that you get to save your once per turn effects of the new Darkdramon here. So what you want to make sure that you have 5 copies of D Brigade in your trash to play your OG one right here for 13, gain the 10 memory back by putting 5 of them back to the top of your deck, and then going to 0, and then your new Darkdramon effect will activate, letting you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13 play costs or less, and then unsuspending it as well. So that's really, really sweet and really nice, because now you can just rush with this Darkdramon into your opponent's security, and this guy can swing once more again, and that's 3 hits in 1 turn with this big turn combo and new combo right here, which is really, really cool. And sometimes when you can pull it off, is just game winning and game changing as well. That will conclude for my very own deck building strategy and in-depth guide for the Commandramon D Brigade Deck Profile. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, or questions, be sure to share it with everyone in the comments down below. Overall, the concept of the deck hasn't changed much at all. As a matter of fact, the new Darkdramon line gives you an alternative winning strategy and elevates the deck even further. And one of the major reasons why this deck does so well, even in large events, is because it has the good consistency and fast-paced swings that is just very good and aggressive. So if you guys haven't given this deck a try yet, definitely consider it. That will wrap up for the video for today. We got lots more EX3 deck profiles coming up with popular demand and requests. We got the infamous Darkdramon OTK Rush, as well as Dragon Links, which are going to be coming real soon as I get to work on them. If you're excited for these deck profiles and just can't wait, then be sure to subscribe right now, turn on that notification bell to stay tuned. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video. This is Avault, signing out.